8 Tips for negotiating the best deal when you buy, or sell, your home. 1. Get, and stay, clear on your deal points, must-haves and deal breakers, and keep them to a minimum. If you're trying to get a chunk off of the asking price, as a buyer, or trying to be a stickler to your bottom dollar, as a seller, you'll be much more effective if you can aggressively negotiate on a small number of items. If you must have 10 different things your way, you'll come off as unreasonable and impossible to satisfy. If you have just a couple of musts, but can offer flexibility on other items, you'll be much more likely to get your way, or close to it. 2. Don't take it personal. If you are trying to be a hardcore negotiator, it's best not to get overly emotional about the offers you make and receive from the other side of the bargaining table. Home sellers, if you get a low offer, understand the buyer is simply trying to get the best deal they can. They are not insulting you or your home, or trying to throw a monkey wrench in your financial plans. 3. Investigate what is negotiable, and what's not, on the other side of the table. Have your people, your agent, ask their people, their agent, what's important to the folks sitting across you at the bargaining table. They have the right to decline, but 9 times out of 10, you'll get some information that will empower you to tailor your offer, or response in the vein of a win-win. If the listing agent says the seller's top priority is cash, hint, it always is, but that the ability to move on without doing any more work to the home is a close second, consider making an as-is offer, subject to your right to obtain inspections, so you know what you're getting yourself into, before you remove contingencies. 4. Sellers, work with a very reputable agent who has a strong track record of success at your type of transaction. Look for an agent who, A, has a good, recent track record of closing deals in your area, and, B, whose closed sales have a high list price to sale price ratio, LPSP ratio. The LPSP ratio is a number that reflects how close to the asking price their listings have sold for, on average. Agents with a higher LPSP ratio than the area average tends to have very strong skills of pricing properties appropriately for the market, and for negotiating their clients' deals. Plus, once you know that your agent is an LPSP rockstar, you're more likely to treat their advice with more trust, and less skepticism, resting assured that you're working with an expert. 5. Buyers, boost your closability factor. Many a seller would take a lower offer that seemed highly likely to actually close over a higher offer that has a snowball's chance in where of ever actually closing. Make sure your offer has a high closability factor by insisting that your broker or agent submit it in a complete package that includes a well-written, detailed loan approval letter that verifies that you have sufficient cash to close the transaction, that your credit checks out and your job tenure is robust. 6. Get educated. There's much more that can be negotiated than just the purchase price. Ask your agent to educate you about the full range of items that are up for negotiation, as well as the implications of giving or taking on repairs, contingency periods, closing costs and included items. Also, collect as much background info as possible before you make or respond to an offer to buy a home. Are there multiple offers? How long has the place been on the market, compared with the area norm? Such things should be factored into an offer or a response. 7. There's no such thing as a national rule of thumb. One of the most frequently asked questions among home buyers is, how much, below or above, the asking price should I offer? What's the rule of thumb? Sophisticated real estate consumers know that real estate is a hyper-local phenomenon. Trying to make an offer on the basis of a national rule of thumb is not just naive, but also results in ineffective offers with a low chance of being accepted. Have your agent brief you on the local area's pricing trends and negotiation standard practices, as well as the all-important recent comparable sales data, and use that, along with your personal priorities, values and opinion of the property, to formulate your offer or, if you're a seller, your response to a would-be buyer's offer. 8. Be respectful. Didn't your grandma ever tell you that you'll draw more bees with honey than with vinegar? Well, mine did, And although she said that in the context of my teen-year negotiations vis-a-vis my dad for phone privileges, the advice is equally applicable to negotiating a real estate transaction. It's never a good idea for buyers to gush over how much they love their house, and can't live without it, and so forth. That can certainly put you behind the 8 ball in terms of your bargaining power. But it certainly never hurts to accompany your offer with a polite letter about yourself and/or your family to the seller, explaining what you do like about the house and asking them respectfully to consider your offer in the spirit it is made. What's your top negotiating tip? Randy Bett. Investment realtor, author, investor. Real Estate Professionals Incorporated, Better Group Real Estate. 202540 Crowchild Trail, Northwest Calgary, Alberta, T3B4Z1. Phone 403-774-7464 extension 1. Fax 403-208-0082. Toll-free fax 888-711-6801. Thanks for listening. Find more tips and training on our YouTube channel at bettergrouprealestate.com.